Many people think entrepreneurship means small business, whereas others may envisage entrepreneurship as involving an innovative startup needing venture capital to enter global markets. The fact is, there is no explicit answer, but innovation, opportunity, resourcefulness, and a cohesive entrepreneurial team tend to be at the core of entrepreneurial businesses. And some businesses are more entrepreneurial than others. And so you can consider entrepreneurship as being on a spectrum of possibilities, where some businesses may be more entrepreneurial than others, with many not being entrepreneurial at all, because they lack some of the characteristics just mentioned. Let's consider the following definition of entrepreneurship. I should point out that many abound that proliferate entrepreneurial books, articles, blogs, etc., but one that I think is very practical and insightful comes from Howard Stevenson, an iconic individual in academic circles who is a Seraphim Rock Baker Foundation Professor Emeritus at Harvard University. He defines entrepreneurship as the process of creating or seizing an opportunity without regard to the resources you own. Now, this definition highlights the opportunity as a critical element in the success of any new venture. The amount of cash, capital, or other resources you possess holds less significance for creating a new business, or so he argues. And what we gather from this is that it is not so much about owning the resources, rather what is important is to what extent you can access or control the resources required. In this regard, many entrepreneurial ventures are bootstrapped or adopt a lean approach. By this we mean entrepreneurs take a frugal approach to building their businesses and constantly seek to do more with less. Entrepreneurs will employ many innovative means to produce, create, and/or access the resources required. And we'll spend more time discussing this in greater detail during the resourcing section of the course. In terms of the opportunity, there is a window of time for an opportunity to be relevant, and it is best to build on the opportunity as the window is opening. There is less value to be derived if the window is beginning to close. At this latter point, many more competitors will be entering the market in competition with you, and it becomes more difficult to differentiate your product or service from others. To add additional dimension to this, let's consider a quote from George Bernard Shaw. He once said, "Reasonable people adapt themselves to the world. Unreasonable people attempt to adapt the world to themselves." And so therefore, if you think about it, all progress depends on unreasonable people. And while Shaw was not explaining entrepreneurship at the time, it does provide insight into the nature of entrepreneurs. They are unreasonable enough to believe that they can change what is and how things are currently done. An additional comment from George Bernard Shaw clarifies things further. He also said, anyone can start a love affair, but it takes a real genius to end one successfully. The parallel is that anyone can start a business, but it takes an extraordinary person to make that business a success. Many fail in the early stages of development, and some are still born. It is only the exceptional entrepreneurial ventures that develop a profile capable of being publicly listed on a stock exchange. Now, a common misconception is that anyone in business is an entrepreneur. This is incorrect, as entrepreneurial businesses present quite a different profile to those that don't employ entrepreneurial strategies and techniques. Today, with the ease that technology affords, it can be relatively simple and inexpensive to start a business. And some of these businesses may be referred to as lifestyle businesses. The owner may be passionate about the business and perhaps the area where the business is located, and wants to create a reasonable income, yet still retain the freedom and flexibility to enjoy the lifestyle that appeals most to them. In this situation, there may be no plan to grow and sell the business, and revenue growth may be slow, but the entrepreneur enjoys sole control of the direction of the business in keeping with the desired lifestyle desired to be achieved. An example here would be a person providing bookkeeping services, working from home, to accommodate their young children's needs. Now, lifestyle businesses can thrive and be profitable, but they typically are more modest due to the constrained growth and lower revenues they achieve. If we move to the other end of the spectrum, let's consider technology startups. These types of ventures may have the potential to scale up quickly and employ increasing numbers of people as the business grows. These are more likely to demonstrate entrepreneurial tendencies and are more likely to be underpinned by innovation and be founded upon quality business opportunities. They are also more likely to be driven by a team of entrepreneurial people. However, I should point out that entrepreneurs are not just associated with standalone businesses that they are responsible for in founding, in starting up. Just as there are various types of entrepreneurial businesses, there are different types of entrepreneurs. For example, we can have social entrepreneurs, where the social mission of the organisation is the overriding factor. It's not about profit. And corporate entrepreneurs who operate within their employer organisations. And we'll discuss these and other types of entrepreneurs in the next section. And so, to sum up, entrepreneurship means different things to different people, but there are certain common characteristics associated with entrepreneurial businesses, and these include the quality of the opportunity, the quality and cohesiveness of the team, relevant resources being put together, and innovation. And we're going to examine these in more detail as we go through the course.